Hi everyone, brief introduction. This is Adrian's vlog for April 2015. The audio for this is available on SoundCloud and the video on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be seeing the wonderful Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, the background audio that you can possibly hear is also from GTA 5. So yeah, hi everyone. The first thing I want to do right at the beginning of this vlog is to just ask you for a little bit of feedback. I don't have a very large channel. I've had a few people subscribe to me over the last fortnight to a month, and I'm really interested to know why you've subscribed. I think it's a lot to do with my tutorial type videos rather than my gameplay videos, which I totally understand, but I'd really like some feedback from you guys about what it is you like from my channel and what made you hit that subscribe button. If you fancy talking to me about it, just leave me some comments in below the video and that'd be great. If you're on SoundCloud and you wanted to give me some feedback, you can also comment in the SoundCloud as well. Thank you very much. So yeah, what's been going on? Do you know, I really like putting videos on YouTube, and actually I've started doing a bit more streaming on Twitch recently, which is really good fun, but it's quite, both things are quite technically complicated, and I have this picture in my head of people who do YouTube or Twitch for a living, just sat there and they go into their offices at the beginning of the day, whatever they're going to do, they decide, right, I'm going to play, I don't know, let's say GTA 5, and they load the game up, they get their save game sorted out, and then they just hit a big red button and everything happens automatically. Like there's this machine from Wallace and Gromit or something that just basically records everything perfectly, renders it, posts it all onto YouTube, does the thumbnail, all that kind of stuff. Just automatically, a really clever robotic machine. Whenever I try to do it, there's always some tweaking and faffing about I've got to do beforehand. I'd streamed some city skylines on Twitch one afternoon, and I recorded it as well, and I've been using OBS, and I'll go on to talk about that in a moment. And you can stream and record at the same time with the latest version of OBS, which is really cool. So that's what I was doing, and it came out really well. The Twitch stream went really well, and the video, the resultant video, was really good. And I actually put it up on my channel, and you can see that from last week, I think. The quality was really excellent, and I was really pleased with the way it had come out, and especially how the audio worked, because I've been trying to do the audio in a different way, and with OBS you have to have everything on the same channel, so you don't have a chance to tweak the volume levels of the game audio and your commentary. So it came out really well. I was really pleased, and it is a bit fiddly to get that stuff working right on Twitch, so it's good that it came out nicely. So I thought, oh, this is brilliant, I've got this all set up, all I need to do now is fire it up, get my game up, select the streaming and recording buttons in Twitch, and I'm away, in OBS, and I'm away. Of course, the next time I did it, it didn't work properly, and it kind of worked, but what I ended up with was a video with a lot of hiss in it. I have no idea what happened or what was going on, but I just ended up with a really weird background kind of crackle, and the only thing I changed was the volume on my mic, just to try and tune the amplitude a little bit so you could hear me over the game audio. That was the only thing I did, and for some reason that introduced some horrible hissing and crackling noise through most of the video. And the thing is, it was really weird, it did clear itself up. And so I then, now when I go back into OBS to do some Twitch or to record some gameplay, I have to kind of test everything. I'm sure people who do YouTube or Twitch for a living just don't have to do that. And that's I guess Listen, I'm not trying to put down those people on YouTube and Twitch at all. It's a very tough business to be in, and all the generation of all the content is really hard work. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dismiss what they do. All I'm just trying to say is that it would be nice if there was a big red button and you could just press it and everything would work and it'd all be done. But of course that doesn't happen. Anyway, I think I've got it sussed out a little bit better, and I have recorded a few other bits and pieces. I did a stream the other day of Axiom Verge on PlayStation 4. So I'm really enjoying that game. It's really good. I would totally recommend, if you've got a PlayStation 4 and you're into old kind of retro style, this is a Metroidvania type game, really seriously check it out. The soundtrack gets on my nerves a little bit, but apart from that, it's a really, really good game. And I managed to stream that for an hour and a half or so. I'll put a link in the description to the Twitch VOD, because it hasn't actually made it over to YouTube, because I don't think I had time to edit the recording. I'll have to have a look and see what I did. So I've been playing Axiom Verge. That's really, really good. I obviously installed GTA 5, and I have got a funny story to tell about that. So I don't have a problem with paying the right price for video games at all. But I would always look for a bargain, because you can often find bargains knocking around. And GTA 5 is £40 for PC on Steam at the moment, and you can buy it from Amazon for £34.98. It's £5, right? We have Prime, so I can just get it delivered for free. It's £5. I didn't realise that the game comes on a gazillion DVDs, and I tried to install it twice off the DVDs. It failed both times, reading a file off the disc with a cyclic redundancy check error. And it's like, what? That's ridiculous. So I looked up on the internet, and lots of people have run into the same problem, and they just have to download it. So that works out, and my broadband's totally fine, so I just downloaded it. But it was just ridiculous, because you buy a box copy with all the DVDs in it, and it doesn't install from there. It was just mad, and that'll teach me for trying to pick up a bargain, I think. Anyway, GTA 5 is really good. It looks absolutely amazing on PC. The footage on YouTube is 1080p, 60 frames a second, and it looks really, really nice. The footage on YouTube is actually just me driving around. I took Franklin's car for a bit of a drive at night, and that's one nice thing about the game, is you can just drive around, prat about a bit. It's good fun. What else have I been playing? Since the last vlog, I've been playing a bit of Bloodborne, and if you've watched any of my other videos, you will know I got quite angry at Bloodborne. I ventured carefully back into it the other day, and I am quite enjoying it again. After my horror with Father Gascoigne and trying to kill that beast, I really, really didn't think I would ever pick up Bloodborne again. But it's a very tempting game. It's a brilliant game. Once you get your head around it, you can kind of play through it. You just got to be patient and not get too frustrated with it. So I've picked up Bloodborne again, and I'm playing a bit of that. Obviously played a bit of GTA 5, and what else have I been playing? And I've been back into City Skylines. Now, City Skylines has been around for quite a few months now, I think, and I have to be honest, I played it on and off, not in a dedicated way, and I really like it. I really like the game, but I haven't actually managed to get anywhere with my cities. And I started another one the other day, which has a big river running right through the middle of the map, and I thought, oh, this would be good, because I can use that river for stuff later on. Big mistake. There wasn't enough space on one side of the river, and I didn't have enough money to build bridges, so I had to build in from the other side of the river and then try and join them up. But it actually worked out, and I streamed some of that, and I put the video on YouTube as well. So that worked out really well. And yeah, let me go back to what I was going to talk about originally, which was I've started using OBS multi-platform version. Now, I'm a Windows user, and there is a test build out which is version 0.9.1. And for me, touch wood, it's working very, very well indeed. It had all of the features that I used to use with the original OBS. It possibly doesn't have all the features that if you were using it in a kind of professional capacity, but it has all the features that I was using, and I found it really good. I found it really stable. It can consume video from my Roxio GameCap HD Pro as well, which the old version of OBS couldn't. So that's a plus from my side, although it is a bit of a fiddle to get it set up. And the other thing I like about it, so it's obviously it's free. The interface is really clear, but also because it's open source, the help on the forums is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't used OBS before, I definitely recommend going and checking it out. And if you are a Windows user, rather than going for the fully fledged previous release, I would try the test build. I can't promise it's going to work 100% because it is a pre-release, but it works really well for me. It's nice and stable, and I can how do I set it up? I consume my webcam, the game, or a console through my Roxio, and also have a little bit of art around my webcam. That all works really well, and it streams to Twitch, and it records locally as well. And you can actually, what the really cool thing is, I haven't got the bandwidth or the viewer subscriber numbers on Twitch to be able to broadcast at 1080p, so I can broadcast at 720p and record locally at 1080p, which is really cool. And so I can basically then get good footage for YouTube off my Twitch stream, which is really nice. And I've got an old PC. It's a 2600K, so that's 3 generations of Intels ago. And I've got a fairly beefy graphics card, and it works perfectly well. OBS does need some CPU, but yeah, it works really well. And the one problem I've had with it is really intensive games. So just as, for instance, Dying Light, basically my machine isn't capable of recording, streaming and playing the game all at the same time. And that's no fault of OBS. That's just Dying Light's a very graphics intensive and processor intensive game, and yeah, obviously OBS needs some cycles to be able to generate all the stuff it's generating. So that's good. So yes, thoroughly recommend OBS MP version, and that's 0.9.1 is the current Windows test build. What else have I been up to? I did just think of something. Let me just go back to GTA 5. In this bit I've just taken Franklin to the beach because I wasn't really quite sure what else I was going to do, and I'm going to go and check out the roller coaster, which is something I never did. Now, I played GTA 5 on Xbox 360, and I never went on any of the rides or anything, so that was quite a cool thing to do while I was just tooling around Los Santos. Yeah, and the other thing I've been doing is I've been trying to update my website, and I've been doing a bit of kind of branding on all my different channels, on my YouTube channel and on my Twitch channel, because I've finally because I've been streaming a little bit, I've been trying to tidy up my Twitch channel a little bit, and I've been using my website as a repository for things like my PC specs. So my PC specs are up there, and if you want to check it out, it's unshapedadrian.co.uk. Just go there, have a poodle around. My blog's up there. There's a few other bits and pieces. Links to all my social networks and all that kind of thing. What else was I going to say? And yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for all the people who've subscribed. I am going to try and do a vlog every month. I think I'm just going to squeeze this one in during April. Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody who's been subscribing, and say if you like this, please leave a comment, like. If you can tell me which videos you enjoyed and what made you subscribe, that would be really helpful. If you can put them in the comments down below, and I'll be back with some more gameplay or whatever you guys want really soon. Cheers.